Welcome back. If you've been watching travel drama unfold online lately, you know the world can feel pretty chaotic right now. Tourists getting scammed in Bali, racist incidents on flights going viral, hotel nightmares that turn into TikTok sagas. It's enough to make you wonder if traveling or living abroad is even worth it anymore. But here's the thing. While everyone's focused on the chaos, there are still incredible cities around the world where you can live well, eat amazing food, walk to cafes every morning, and do it all without draining your bank account. Today, we're breaking down the 5 best affordable cities to live or retire in the world. We picked them based on what actually matters: cost of living that won't make you panic, walkable neighborhoods where you don't need a car, real culture and things to do beyond tourist traps, healthcare that's both good and affordable, incredible food and wine that's part of daily life, and residency options that don't require you to be rich. Stick around until the end because our number 1 pick checks every single box, and it's a place most people have never even considered. Before we jump in, quick favor. Most of you watching right now aren't subscribed yet. If you love travel tea, commentary on what's really happening in the travel world, and practical tips for living abroad, hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing, and it helps us keep making videos like this.
City number 5, Chiang Mai, Thailand. Let's start in Southeast Asia with Chiang Mai. The city's been a digital nomad and expat favorite for years, but don't let that scare you off. It's not just 20-somethings working from cafes here. Chiang Mai has a huge retiree community because it offers something a lot of places can't: a real city experience without the chaos or the cost. The old city is built around Wat Phra Singh, this stunning Buddhist temple with golden roofs and detailed carvings that have been there for centuries. Around it, you've got narrow streets packed with cafes, art galleries, markets selling everything from fresh mangoes to handmade textiles. You can walk most of it. When you need to go farther, tuk-tuks are everywhere. Taxis are cheap, and rideshare apps work perfectly. You're not stuck relying on a car, which is huge if you're trying to simplify your life. Cost of living is where Chiang Mai really shines. You can rent a decent 1-bedroom apartment for $250 a month. If you want something nicer, with a pool and a gym, you're looking at $350 to $450. That's not a typo. For food, local spots serve authentic Thai dishes, spicy curries, pad Thai, noodle soups for around $3 a plate. If you're into drinks, Chiang Mai has local rice wines, fruit wines, and a growing craft beer scene. You're not sacrificing quality for cost here. Healthcare is another reason people retire in Chiang Mai. The city has some of the best private hospitals in Southeast Asia. We're talking about facilities that rival what you'd find in the US or Europe, but for a fraction of the price. A standard doctor consultation runs about $30 to $50. Minor procedures are similarly affordable. A lot of expats just pay out of pocket because it's so cheap. If you want insurance, comprehensive expat health plans cost anywhere from $70 to $250 a month, depending on your age and what you want covered. Compare that to US premiums, and it's almost laughable. Residency is pretty straightforward if you're retired. Thailand's retirement visa requires either a monthly income of $1,800 or a deposit of $24,000 in a Thai bank. For a lot of people, that's doable. Once you're in, renewals are simple, and you can settle in long-term without constantly dealing with bureaucracy. Culturally, Chiang Mai has this calm energy that's hard to describe until you're there. Yes, there are tourists, but the city doesn't feel like it exists just for them. You've got Buddhist temples, weekend markets, art galleries, music festivals, hiking in the nearby mountains. Life feels full without feeling expensive or overwhelming. Everything you need, groceries, healthcare, entertainment, is within reach. Chiang Mai blends affordability, culture, and lifestyle in a way that makes sense for people who want to retire somewhere warm, interesting, and budget-friendly.
City number 4, Plovdiv, Bulgaria. Now let's head to Europe. Plovdiv, Bulgaria doesn't get nearly enough attention, but it should. This is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in Europe. We're talking thousands of years of history. Right in the middle of town, there's a Roman amphitheater that's still used for concerts and events today.
Walking through the old town, you'll find cobblestone streets, colorful houses from the 19th century, cafes, boutique shops, and art galleries. It's the kind of place where you can wander for hours and still find something new. Public transport exists, and it's cheap, but honestly, most people just walk. The city center is compact and everything's close. Taxis are available if you need them, but you won't be using them often. Cost of living in Plovdiv is shockingly low for Europe. You can rent a one-bedroom apartment for around $300 a month. That's less than what a lot of people spend on utilities back in the States. Food is also very affordable. Traditional Bulgarian meals, think banitsa pastries, grilled meats, stews, run about $6 to $10 at local restaurants. Bulgaria is known for its wine, too. You've got crisp whites, full-bodied reds, all locally made and available at prices that would make sommeliers back home weep. Wine bars and markets give you plenty of options to enjoy quality wine without spending much. Healthcare in Plovdiv is solid, especially in private clinics. It's not going to match Western Europe across the board, but for routine care, checkups, and minor procedures, it's reliable. A lot of expats pay out of pocket because consultations cost around $25 to $50, but if you want insurance, private expat plans start at about $50 to $250 a month, depending on your age and coverage. Either way, you're spending way less than you would in the US. Residency is fairly easy through Bulgaria's long-stay Type D visa. You need to prove an income of roughly $3,600 per year, that's $300 a month. If you're receiving any kind of pension or passive income, you likely already qualify. This makes Plovdiv accessible for retirees who want European living without European prices. Culturally, Plovdiv is rich. You've got Roman ruins, Ottoman-era mosques, Orthodox churches, modern art galleries, outdoor markets, music festivals. The city has this layered history that you can see just walking around. It's not touristy in the way that Prague or Barcelona are. It feels real, lived in, like a place where people actually build lives, not just take photos. Plovdiv offers European charm, walkability, affordability, and culture without the crowds or the cost. If you've been priced out of Western Europe but still want that experience, this is worth serious consideration.
City number 3, Tbilisi, Georgia. Let's talk about Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, not the US state, the country between Europe and Asia. Tbilisi is one of those cities that feels alive in the best way. The old town is packed with narrow streets, wooden balconies hanging over cobblestone lanes, cafes, bakeries, churches, and art galleries. You can start your morning with coffee and khachapuri, this amazing cheese-filled bread, and spend the rest of the day wandering along the river or exploring sulfur baths that have been there for centuries. When you need to go farther, the metro is easy and cheap. Taxis are everywhere and ridiculously affordable. But like the other cities on this list, you don't need a car. Tbilisi is built for walking. Cost of living is very reasonable compared to most European capitals. You can find one-bedroom apartments for $300 to $500 a month, especially if you're willing to live outside the central tourist areas. Eating out at local spots costs about $5 to $10 for a full meal. Georgian food is hearty and delicious. Khinkali dumplings, grilled meats, fresh salads, vegetable dishes. It's the kind of food that feels like comfort and celebration at the same time. Now, here's where Tbilisi gets really interesting. Georgia is widely considered the birthplace of wine. Winemaking here goes back over 8,000 years. In Tbilisi, you'll find Qvevri wines, these traditional Georgian wines made in clay vessels buried underground, along with fruit wines and more modern varietals. Wine isn't a luxury here. It's part of everyday life. You can get a great bottle for a few dollars. Wine bars and markets are everywhere. Healthcare in Tbilisi is affordable and decent quality. Private clinics offer good care for routine visits, specialists, and minor procedures. A lot of expats pay out of pocket because consultations run about $30 to $50. If you want insurance, private expat plans start around $50 to $250 a month, depending on age and coverage. Residency is one of Tbilisi's biggest draws. Citizens of many countries, including the US, can stay in Georgia for up to 1 year without any paperwork or proof of income. You literally just show up. This makes it incredibly easy to try living there long-term without committing to a complicated visa process up front. Culturally, Tbilisi is vibrant and eclectic. You've got ancient churches next to Soviet-era buildings, next to modern art spaces. Markets overflow with spices, fresh produce, handmade goods. There are outdoor festivals, live music, theater. The city has this creative energy that's hard to find elsewhere. It's not polished or sanitized. It's raw and real and deeply interesting. Tbilisi blends walkability, affordability, world-class wine, history, and culture in a way that few places can. If you want somewhere that feels off the beaten path but still offers everything you need, this is it.
City number 2, Cuenca, Ecuador. Now let's head to South America. Cuenca, Ecuador is a colonial city high in the Andes that looks like it was pulled straight out of a postcard. Cobblestone streets, brightly painted buildings, open plazas, outdoor markets, sidewalk cafes. The pace of life here is relaxed but full. You're not sitting around bored, you're walking to your favorite breakfast spot, wandering past artisan shops, exploring museums, discovering hidden corners every week. Cost of living in Cuenca is very appealing. You can find a one-bedroom apartment in a good neighborhood for $300 to $450 a month. Larger places run under $600. If you look outside the historic center, prices drop even more. Food is hugely affordable. Local meals cost about $4 to $8. Markets are overflowing with fresh produce, which makes cooking at home both easy and cheap. Cuenca has a growing cafe culture and plenty of spots to enjoy wine or local drinks without spending much. Ecuador produces some excellent fruit wines and craft beverages. There's a developing scene of wine bars and international restaurants for when you want something different. Healthcare in Cuenca gets a lot of attention from retirees, and for good reason. Ecuador's medical system includes both public and private options. Private healthcare is high quality and very affordable. Routine doctor visits can cost as little as $30 to $60. Specialists are similarly accessible. A lot of expats use a mix of pay-as-you-go care for everyday needs and local insurance plans that typically range from $50 to $200 a month. You get excellent care without the massive premiums you'd pay back home. Residency in Ecuador is relatively easy. The pensioner residency visa requires proof of income, or pension, usually around $1,400 a month. For most retirees, that's a realistic threshold. Once you're approved, renewals are straightforward, and you can settle in long-term without constant bureaucracy. Culturally, Cuenca has a deep artistic vibe. There are museums, weekly markets, festivals, and cultural events happening regularly. The climate is often called eternal spring because it stays mild year-round. No extreme heat, no freezing winters. If you're planning to spend years somewhere, that consistency is a huge plus. Cuenca combines walkability, affordability, culture, solid healthcare, and a slow-living city vibe in a way that makes it ideal for people who want a full life without the stress or the cost. It's not flashy, but it's deeply satisfying.
City number 1, Shkoder, Albania. And finally, our top pick, Shkoder, Albania. If you haven't heard of it, you're not alone. Albania in general flies under the radar, which is exactly why it's such a gem right now. Shkoder is a historic city in northern Albania that combines affordability, culture, walkability, and accessibility in a way that's hard to beat. The city is highly walkable. Cobblestone streets, colorful buildings, outdoor markets, cozy cafes. You can start your day with a coffee and a byrek pastry, wander past galleries or the Rozafa Castle ruins overlooking the city, stroll along Lake Shkoder, all without needing a car. Everything feels close and connected. Cost of living here is extremely budget-friendly, even for Europe. One-bedroom apartments start around $220 to $500 a month depending on size and location. Eating out is very affordable.
Hearty Mediterranean-influenced meals start at just $5 to $10. Local wines and Rocky, Albania's traditional fruit brandy, are plentiful and inexpensive. You can enjoy local culture and cuisine daily without worrying about your budget. Healthcare is accessible and affordable. Private clinics in Shkoder offer quality care for routine visits and minor procedures, often under $50 per consultation. Many expats just pay out of pocket for everyday care. If you want insurance, private options start from $50 to $250 a month, giving you flexibility and peace of mind. Now here's the kicker. Albania has a visa-free policy for U.S. citizens. You can stay in the country for up to 1 year without any paperwork or proof of income. You just show up. This makes long-term living remarkably easy. You don't need to prove you have a pension. You don't need to apply for residency up front. You can literally just try it. Location is another huge advantage. Shkoder sits close to the Albanian Riviera and the Adriatic coast. You're just a short ferry ride from Greece or Italy. Weekend trips across Europe are simple. If you want to explore, you're in a perfect position. Culturally, Shkoder is vibrant but relaxed. The city has lively squares, markets overflowing with fresh produce, galleries, cafes spilling onto the streets. There's history here. Ottoman-era architecture, Catholic and Muslim influences, centuries-old castles. But it's not a museum. It's a living city where people build lives, raise families, run businesses. Shkoder offers walkability, low cost of living, rich Mediterranean cuisine, quality healthcare, visa-free entry, and proximity to the rest of Europe. It checks every box without requiring you to be wealthy or navigate complicated visa processes. That's why it's our top pick. So there you have it, the 5 best affordable cities to live or retire in the world. Chiang Mai for that Southeast Asian lifestyle and incredible healthcare. Plovdiv for old-world European charm on a budget. Tbilisi for wine, culture, and visa-free living. Cuenca for Andean beauty and expat-friendly residency. And Shkoder, Albania, our #1 for affordability, accessibility, and proximity to Europe. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. It actually helps us keep making videos like this. Drop a comment and let us know which city you'd pick, or if there's somewhere else you think should have made the list. And if you want more details on any of these places, check the description. We've got links to resources, cost breakdowns, and residency guides. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.